Sofia the First, the perfect tea party. It's an exciting day at Royal Prep. The fairies are choosing which student will host the annual school tea party. Sofia's new stepsister Amber explains that Royal Prep tea parties are really big events. They have merry-go-rounds, ponies, and even hot air balloons. Sofia has never been to a royal tea party. She just recently became a princess when her mother married King Roland. In class, Sofia's teacher Flora holds out a teapot. Only students who haven't had a chance to host a party should submit their names, says the fairy. Sofia excitedly drops a slip of paper with her name on it into the teapot. Flora uses her wand to stir the pot. Soon one paper magically floats out. The host of the next Royal Prep tea party will be Princess Sofia, she announces. Sofia is thrilled. You can throw any kind of party you like, Flora tells her. This is your chance to show us who you are. On the ride home from school, Sofia talks about the tea party with Amber and her stepbrother James. There have already been so many big, fancy tea parties, she says. I'd like to throw a simple tea party like I used to in the village. My friends and I would spread blankets on the ground and borrow teacups from our mothers. James thinks that sounds cool. Amber doesn't. No one wants to use borrowed teacups, she exclaims. When it comes to royal parties, the bigger the better. Sofia starts to think that maybe Amber is right. She spots the swan fountain and tells Bailiwick, the castle caretaker, that she would like to have a swan-themed tea party. We'll have swan-shaped cookies and cakes. That sounds lovely, says Bailiwick. Amber likes the swan theme, but encourages Sofia to think even better. Maybe Cedric, the royal sorcerer, can make the tables and chairs float in the air like swans floating on water, suggests Sofia. And the swans can put on a show. That's more like it, says Amber. Later that day, Sofia is visited by her friends from the village, Jade and Ruby. Even though Sofia is busy planning the Royal Prep tea party, she is happy to take a break to spend time with them. Let's have a snack, Sofia suggests. I know the perfect spot. Sofia leads Jade and Ruby along a row of hedges. Then she pushes aside some ivy, uncovering a wooden door. The door opens and the girls step into Sofia's secret garden. It's beautiful, says Ruby. Look at all the butterflies, cries Jade. The girls spread out a blanket and share a plate of cookies. This reminds me of the tea parties we had in the village, Ruby says. Are you throwing a party like this for your princess friends? Sofia sighs. I want to, but they expect a big fancy tea party. That's too bad because I'm having a great time just doing this, says Ruby. Me too, agrees Sofia. After a few more cookies, Sofia sadly says goodbye and gets back to her party plan. Ah, Princess Sofia, you're just in time to choose the plates for your party, Bailiwick says as Sofia enters the dining room. Sofia looks at all the choices. She likes the simple white ones. Amber shakes her head and holds up a large shiny gold plate. You need something like this, she declares. Remember, bigger is better. Sofia gives in and agrees to use the large golden plates. At another table, James is happily munching on a swan-shaped cookie. These are great, he declares as crumbs fall from his mouth. You should order 200 of these cookies for the tea party and make them as big as possible, Amber tells Sofia. You need a huge swan cake too. Sofia thinks it's too much, but she listens to Amber anyway. Next, Sophia heads to Cedric's workshop. I'm hosting a tea party tomorrow, and it would be great if you could make all the tables and chairs rise just a little bit off the ground, Sophia explains to the royal sorcerer. Do you have a spell that can do that? Floticus hover abu. Cedric points his wand at a beaker on his work table. Floticus hover abu. The beaker twinkles magically and rises into the air. That's terrific, cries Sophia. See you at the party tomorrow. Sophia goes to the Swan Fountain. Luckily, the magical amulet King Roland gave her, the Amulet of Avalar, gives her the power to talk to animals. I'm hosting a tea party, and I was hoping you could perform a water ballet, she says to the swans. It would be our pleasure, replies Portia. Great, see you tomorrow, says Sophia, and rushes off to find the perfect tea dress. As the royal dressmaker hems her gown, Sophia tells her mother about the tea party. It's going to be so big and fancy. Amber says everyone is going to love it, she sighs, but part of me wishes I could just have the sweet tea party like the ones I used to have with Ruby and Jade. I'm sure everyone will be pleased no matter what kind of party you throw, says Queen Miranda. The day of Sophia's royal tea party has arrived. As the servants rush about, everything goes wrong. The swan-shaped ice sculpture falls off its cart and slides into the baker, who drops the tray of swan cookies. Then the ice slides into the fountain, scaring the swans. The swans fly into Cedric just as he's casting his floating spell, and the tables and chairs rise off the ground and float away. Sophia can't believe her eyes. The princess regrets listening to Amber. Her party is ruined, and the guests are on their way. Sophia starts to cry. Then she spots a butterfly and knows exactly what to do. When the students and fairies arrive, Bailiwick moves aside some ivy, pushes open the wooden door and welcomes into Sophia's secret garden. Blankets on the grass have been set with teapots and cups. Butterflies flutter over the flowers, and all the princesses love it, including Amber. Nice job, Sophia. I guess bigger isn't always better, Amber admits. Princess Sophia, what a charming party, Flora tells the hostess. Some peppermint tea, a pretty garden, and a beautiful view. Who could ask for more? All the guests raise their teacups and cheer to Princess Sophia. Sophia is pleased to learn that even princesses can enjoy simple things. She giggles and raises her own teacup. Hooray for me!